Let's get to our political panel here in Parliament. Daniel Mulino, Labor MP, standing in for Andrew Chalton today. It's nice to see him, the chair of the House Economics Committee. Daniel, welcome.
Great to
and
be
the
here.
Liberal MP, Zoe McKenzie.
Hello.
You've got an opposite number today who has just kindly joined us, who knows a bit about the economy, which we'll get to him in a moment. But Jim Chalmers says he's vindicated by the number today because it shows how soft things are and that they shouldn't smash the economy with even further spending cuts in his budget of last month.
It certainly showed a lot of hubris for a man who can now say he has presided over an entrenched GDP per capita recession. So that's not... You're not congratulating Jim Chalmers if you're in the suburbs, mate. If you're paying $25,000 more for your mortgage, if you're paying 25% more for your gas and electricity, if you're paying 17% more for the inflation, you are not saying, thanks, Jim Chalmers, for creating a weak economy and making my life next to unaffordable.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of pain out there, and the Treasurer did concede that, yes, while things are soft and people are hurting, as I put it to Zoe, that was his argument, that they got the balance right with the budget. But as Zoe rightly points out, there's not a lot. People won't be falling over themselves to say that things are great right now in terms of their economic situation.
So look, people are hurting, and I think the main thing we need to achieve, and this is something all economists agree on, is that we need to get inflation down. So we've seen inflation roughly halve, but there's still a bit of a journey to go. And what we're seeing with the budget is that it's putting into place very responsible fiscal settings. So we've gone from deep in deficit to 2 surpluses in a row. But at the same time...
Should it have been even more responsible?
No, but I think for me...
More spending.
What we saw today was a number at 0.1 which says that people did need that assistance. They needed the amended Stage 3 tax cuts, the $300 for their energy subsidies and cheaper medicines. And those are actually going to put additional downward pressure on inflation, which is critical. So I think it is a well-calibrated budget.
The Governor of the RBA said that she will look through the energy rebate and so on when looking at inflation, because of course our viewers will recall there's been a debate about whether the energy rebate will take some pressure off inflation. If it does, the measured inflation, the Governor says the RBA is going to look beyond that to the underlying inflation.
Yeah. And so the underlying...
And if it's sticky, she'll hike.
The underlying inflation remains over 4%. It's one of the highest in the world. It's higher than the US, UK, Canada. And so she's still under a lot of pressure to do some of the work that the government won't do. So she's still been cautious. You know, I've told you this myself when I've been talking to the banks recently. They're actually putting up their rates marginally. If you look at fixed rates, they're not really indicating that we're going to see a drop in mortgage rates anytime soon. So it's still hard yards ahead. And may I say on that energy rebate, what people were promised 97 times was not a little bit of a handout, $75 a year and $75 there. It was that there would be a new base to the cost of their energy bills and it would be $275 less. So this is just a bit of a band-aid here and there for your next 4 quarters. Thanks very much. No one's proposing to make energy cheaper in the long run. And so good on the RBA by saying, you know, I'm not going to be distracted by that. It's a 1-year fix so that you can pretend you actually delivered a promise that you haven't delivered on. It should have been a formal rebasing of the prices of energy, and we haven't seen it.